What's up, everyone? Today I want to share with you the one thing that you can do to succeed if you're just so confused or overwhelmed by all the technical or professional stuff and you just want something very simple that you can do to help you. That's very easy to understand and common sense. And it's enthusiasm. So enthusiasm isn't something that's like really technical or requires great math skills to understand. It's really simple. And this is something that I've heard from a lot of sources. The biggest one is probably Brian Tracy. He is a very well-known public speaker as well as a very accomplished salesman and businessman. And he's really huge in the self-development industry. The point is, he talks about how enthusiasm is incredibly important to succeed while selling and throughout a lot of other stuff. I mean, if you just think about it, the guy who's just schmoozing through life, compared to the guy who's enthusiastic about life, which one's going to stand out from the crowd? Most people kind of just walk through life pretty average. And that points to a quote by Warren Buffett, the famed investor and businessman. And he said that most people kind of just walk through life like a zombie. They just sort of like walk through life. They're not excited about life. And so if you can turn on that enthusiasm, even more than natural, that's what I try and do, you can definitely start standing out. You know, naturally, I would say I'm pretty introverted and I don't really talk much, but in certain situations, I will consciously just force myself to do that. And, you know, if people don't like that or they make fun of me, so be it. And so that's something I've had to learn to be able to cope with. I don't know if that's the right word, but I've learned to not really care that much about it, or I've told myself or forced myself to do so. And that enthusiasm will show off. Like, look at this. This isn't even a business or sales video. I'm not selling anything, but it's still working. I mean, on YouTube, for instance, when you watch videos, do you want to watch the video of the guy who's just like monotone and his voice bores you to death and he sounds like your third grade teacher who doesn't care about what he's teaching? 90+% of people won't. And so if you want to increase your chances, just be more enthusiastic. And I've heard this advice from numerous sources. And sometimes you just have to go back to the basics. And there's always many things that you can improve on to succeed more. And none of us are really that great on many of them. So sometimes it's not about finding the next big thing. I mean, you can literally go to my website, look at my articles. I mean, I have a list of like 20 plus, 30 plus things that you can do to increase your levels of success. Like you work harder, work for more hours, persistence, all sorts of stuff. But sometimes it's not about another element of success. It's just about focusing on that one thing and then knocking it out of the park at 150% before moving on to something else. So that's it for this video, enthusiasm. And it makes so much sense. It's human nature for many people to like someone better or really think that this guy really knows what he's talking about, is really interested in what he does, is really passionate, and that connects with people because they think this guy, if he likes it that much, he probably knows a ton about it. Or you might just be thinking, this guy's so passionate about this. It seems so interesting. Why is he so interested in this? And then you learn more about that. And that's one of the reasons, I mean, if you think about it, that a lot of these people who are just really good at what they do and really well paid for it in almost any profession are like that. I mean, you can start with Neil deGrasse Tyson. Why is he an astrophysicist? Why does he have over 1 million followers on Twitter and he's so well known on the internet? It's because he's so enthusiastic and passionate about science and physics and all that stuff, and it draws you in. It drew me in, and I really learned a lot about science and physics from him because he made it fun, interesting, and incredible. And you can start to understand over time why he's so interested and why it's so cool. When you really think about it, like, look at the universe. It's this incredibly large place with all these unknown things, black holes, planets, and you start wondering what else is out there, what could be out there, how large is it? And you learn all these incredible things. So keep those things in mind. Enthusiasm will help you out. Again, do you have to like constrain your personality to be enthusiastic? Most of the time, you don't have to go overboard with it. But generally speaking, you can improve it. Now, if you're on the complete opposite end and you're a deadlog and you're just very low energy naturally, that doesn't mean you have to go a complete 180 and become super enthusiastic. But of course, it definitely does help. Whether you're in a job interview, whether you're presenting a presentation, most of the other people, your other classmates, your other employees, they are people who are just going to be like this. Or they'll be like, or maybe they'll try for like the first minute of the presentation and then they'll just start droning on. So if you can do something else, you will stand out and you will succeed.